Today, we take a closer look at politics. The Overseas Koreans Agency was officially launched earlier this week here in Korea, as had been much awaited for many Koreans living overseas. For more on this, we have our political correspondent Lee Shi-hoo here in the studio with us. Welcome, Shi-hoo.
Good evening.
So I heard you took a visit to the agency on the opening day. So where does the agency go from here?
Right, I did indeed, and I also got to have a chance to speak with the overseas Koreans themselves about what the agency means for them and what they expect from it. Let's take a look. To support the more than 7.5 million South Koreans living abroad, the Overseas Koreans Agency opened its doors on Monday.
앞으로 재외동포청은 재외동포들을 보호하고 지원하는 것은 물론 재외동포와 모국 간 교류, 협력을 촉진하는 연결고리와 역할을 수행할 것입니다.
The 151-person agency, with its headquarters in Incheon and a branch office in Gwanghwamun in central Seoul, oversees policies regarding South Koreans living overseas. The office in Gwanghwamun provides administrative support in many areas of overseas Koreans' lives. This support center in Gwanghwamun provides a one-stop service for many issues that affect overseas Koreans, such as nationality, immigration, and military service. Whereas before, overseas Koreans had to visit different agencies for different services, they can now receive a comprehensive service at the office conveniently located close to many embassies.
My daughter is an American citizen, so she might apply to recover her Korean citizenship again. And being close to the US Embassy and the Foreign Ministry makes it much more convenient.
My wife is Korean, my kids as well, they were born here. So, this is helpful for us because it's easier to get things done.
The launch of the agency was one of President Yoon Suk-yeol's election pledges and later a national task. Its establishment was made possible through the revision of the Government Organization Act that specified the launch of the agency under the umbrella of the Foreign Ministry. The revision passed the National Assembly and the Cabinet in late February.
I declare the passing of the partial revision of the Government Organization Act with 266 approvals and 6 abstentions from the 272 present.
Overseas Koreans themselves welcome the change.
Now that it's beginning, I hope that practical, not-for-show policies and administration will take place with the well-being of more than 7.5 million overseas Koreans in mind.
At the same time, they further underlined the need for better channels of communication between the home country and the Korean communities overseas.
I've been thinking it'd be nice for South Korea to refer to the voices, thoughts, and wisdom of overseas Koreans.
Meanwhile, the head of the agency, Lee Shi-hoo, vowed to listen to their many voices and offer practical help.
Now, Shi-hoo, some news for many. And now a need for better channels of communication was mentioned. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yes, Jung-min, it seems so that many of the Koreans residing abroad that I had spoken to had not actually heard about the launch of the agency, and they experienced difficulty accessing related information in the country of their residence, especially for the third or fourth or even fifth generation immigrants who are not so fluent in Korean. It was more difficult to acquire the necessary information in their native language. Let's listen into Mr. Han Ki-deok, who shares more on this.
I've met overseas Koreans from the United States and from Germany too. And unless they're first or second generation, they're not so fluent in Korean. If the Korean government carries out policymaking with just the voices of the first generation, it'd be meaningless as it can't reach third, fourth, or even fifth generations.
So listening to their voices matter.
That's right, Jung-min. The agency's head Lee Shi-hoo said that he is aware of the identity issues experienced by the third or fourth generation of overseas Koreans and that he will work harder to let them know how South Korea is a country they can be proud of, in addition to teaching them the Korean language. He also emphasized that the agency will listen more to the overseas Koreans themselves as well as experts and the press.
Looking forward to hearing more from you, our political correspondent Lee Shi-hoo. Thank you.
Thank you.